closed locker. Thanks, dude. Michael leaves for class and Dan goes to the office where he waits politely at the front desk for the secretary to notice him. She gives Dan a stern look and addresses him in a similar
Yes,
tone.
Dan? I'd like to call home because...
Is this an emergency?
No, but...
Then you can't call.
Well, can I at least get a pass so I won't be late?
No. In an irritated voice, she cuts Dan off for the final time.
No, the office is not responsible for your tardiness.
Dan is about to yell at Mrs. Bede, but thinks better of it. He leaves the office and trudges, none too quickly, into Smith's class where he falls into his seat.
Dan, you're tardy.
Yeah. It's not my fault. Miss Bede wouldn't give me a pass. I was trying to call home, but my mom could bring me my paper, but she wouldn't let me do that either. Now Miss Bede's going to give me an F, because Miss Bede is older than me.
That's enough, Dan. Let's not waste any more of our class time. Mrs. Brown is printing you to speak for 2 weeks regarding the
Right, she would just say, Daniel, you need to come to class, okay?
It's now second hour and Dan goes to Mrs. Brown's English class.
Class, please pass your papers to the front of your row and I will collect them.
Dan raises his hand.
Miss Bede Brown,
Yes, Dan?
Yeah, we had a family emergency last night, so can I turn my paper in tomorrow?
Dan, this is your 3rd family emergency this semester.
Yes, my family is an Akron Chrome family, so yeah.
Well, I will cut you some slack this time.
Thank you.
When your parents call me to verify this family emergency.
The class breaks into laughter. Dan sinks down into his chair and hangs his head after school, and Dan enters the kitchen where his mom is at the stove and his dad is reading the paper at the table. His father asks from behind his newspaper.
How was school, Dan?
No, he's saying you're some type of perky type of
How was school, Dan?
Dan's parents smile and resume what they were doing prior to the conversation.
What?
Mr. Green puts his paper down and cuts Dan off.
No, there's that boy we love, and we know and love, and raising to accept responsibility and know his actions. Don't wash your hands, then it's time to eat dinner.
Dan looks up at the ceiling and down at his toes. Dan replies rapidly in a disgruntled tone.
Okay, before you burst out with my middle and last names, it's my fault my paper is late, and I received an F because I forgot it at home. I was not prepared for a class and deserved a bad grade.
Mrs. Green turns away from the stove and punches the counter across the room.
Funny, I thought she was very responsible when she called me offering her condolence regarding our family emergency. And to tell me you didn't turn in your paper, you left sitting over on the counter over there.
Whoopee.
Old Lady Bede wouldn't let me use the phone to call you. Mr. Smith marked me tardy for being late, and it wasn't my fault. And Mrs. Brown gave me an F on my paper because she is so unresponsible.
Dan.
But I didn't even...
Danny.
If you just...
Daniel.
Dan stops his tirade after a short pause, looking over whatever that word is.
Condensate.
Of course, my person knows what it is.
Well, you weren't there. It's not my fault that...
Dan replies rapidly in a frustrated tone.
Voice.
Whatever.
Why?
Doesn't look like the tone. Dan waits for a reply, which obviously isn't going to be given.
Yeah.
That end.
Yeah, that's